Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Jose.
I'm Michaela, and today we are going to talk about how I attracted my divine masculine and how I keep him around.
How you keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was through kidnapping. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, well, I guess for me, I've been on my twin flame journey with Jeff and Shalia student. I was twin flame ascension school for almost 5 years now. And the first 3 years of that was me focused on healing separation from my twin flame. And I feel like there's a very specific way that you attract your twin flame, and it's through literally attraction. There's no way else to do it other than through attraction. And I think that's one of the biggest things for us is that I didn't control, I didn't even really know that you were my twin flame. Like we didn't even have very much communication before Harmonious Union, before we moved in together. Now we're married.
Yeah.
But one thing that I really want to share is that there was nothing I did to control it. There was nothing I did to become worthy of it. There was nothing that I did to make it happen. Yeah. Like I really just followed the process that Jeff and Shalia shared with me through the teachings of Union, through their body of work, which is about loving yourself, healing your vibration by healing your inner blocks to love. And so if you think about a river, it's going to constantly flow. And that's like your harmonious union. It is like that river of love that you live in. It's like, you know, the truth. And the only thing that could stop a river from flowing is that there are blocks in it. You know, if you dam the river, then it's going to stop flowing. And that's what our blocks are. You know, they're just things that prevent you from receiving your twin flame, which is your natural state of being. And so what I focused on for those 3 years was healing those inner blocks to love whenever they came up. And your inner blocks to love come up whenever you're triggered or upset by something. So I just spent literally most of my time focused on healing myself and my blocks and going through my spiritual lessons, having dark nights of the soul, you know, working through facing my fears. And there were a lot of times that I didn't really believe that it was leading anywhere, but I knew I felt better. You know, that's the key. And I knew that like something was happening. Yeah. And eventually you do reach what we call like a tipping point, where your twin, there's so much love that you've given yourself and you're radiating so much love that your twin flame has to come into your life. And your relationship with God is so fulfilling within you that God almost has no choice but to manifest as your twin flame. And that's what your twin flame is. The person that you experience divine love through the most. So you have to give yourself that level of divine love. So that's what I did. And like, I did not make it happen. There was nothing I could have done to make it happen. And there's nothing I could have done to prevent it from happening. It was all me following this process of loving yourself that the teachings of Union share, about healing your consciousness, purifying your consciousness, and coming into union with your true divine self. Like that's all I was focused on. There were even times that I was like, well, maybe it'll take 10 years. I don't care, you know, like it's 10 years or 10 million years or lifetimes or whatever. Like I just want to heal myself because I love myself, you know, and I know that my natural next step of me doing that is to be with my twin flame. And I trust that, and I really just focus on myself.
Yeah. I love that you said that you were radiating so much love, because I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make in this journey, and I see this a lot with all of this divine masculine consciousness, is that you try to control or you try to get something, you try to get love. And that is why you get a lot of running and a lot of communication blocks or boundaries or things that don't feel really that good with your twin flame. And it's because they are teaching you to do it the other way. When you radiate love, you become very attractive to your twin flame. And magnetic. They literally come to you.
Can't resist.
Yeah. But if you are trying to get love, it's because there is like an emptiness there. And that emptiness, you must heal it first.
Within yourself.
Within yourself. Your twin flame cannot do that. And that is why they are not coming closer in that area. They are teaching you to do something. I remember something that Jeff said a while ago about how the divine masculine values freedom a lot. And I guess in this area is where a lot of people struggle, is they think that the only way to get your twin flame is through control or through doing something to get them around. But that is the way that you get a normal relationship, a soulmate, for example, but not your twin flame. So I see that piece about radiating love is key, because you are full within, And you have so much love that now you can share it with your twin flame. It's about giving to them and sharing that with them.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I guess the most important thing that I want to share with this video is that it's not, like, you can't control it, you can't manipulate your twin flame, and you don't approach your twin flame with the posture like, I miss you, I need you, I love you, I want you, like the, you know, soulmate relationship rules, because that creates like a repulsive force, and your twin flame is not the source of your love, they're not the source of your happiness. And so this journey is all about finding that within yourself. That's why it's called, you know, this work is called We're Twin Flame. It's Twin Flame Ascension School, something that Jeff and Shalia always used to say throughout the classes. Like, this is not just Twin Flame School. Like, this is about you ascending into your consciousness, sending your consciousness into alignment with love, and finding your source of love is within you. It's not in your twin flame. And the more that you treat your twin flame as your source, the further they run. And that's why we see people getting blocked a lot or ghosted by their twin flames. And it's because you are trying to seek something within them. And so something I've been using a lot lately as an example is that if you read Jeff and Shalia's book, they talk about how in the beginning of their relationship, what they would do is they would get really upset if they're working through an upset, and they would take space from each other and go off into separate rooms, work through their stuff, and then come to a more peaceful place so they can come back together and communicate. That's exactly what's happening with you and your twin flame if you're in separation. It's just you're not in the same house. You're in your own kind of like corners, working through your stuff and coming to a place of peace. And then when you come back together, you can actually have a much deeper, more peaceful relationship. And we've even had that, you know, where it's like, you know, your twin flame upsets come up, and sometimes you just need to like take space, work through the blocks, and come to a place of peace so that you can come together and like have a like productive, functional conversation rather than just being triggered. So that's the same thing that happens with twin flames and separation. There's kind of like a purpose to the space you're experiencing, and it's not for tormenting you. It's not because there's something wrong or reality is painful and suffering is real, but it's because it's an opportunity for you to work through your inner blocks. So that's what I did to achieve my twin flame, and I really followed Jeff and Shalia's teachings word for word. And that was one of my final lessons, is like, if they teach us the path to healing separation, I should just listen to them, you know. And I just started to really focus on the work as I was taught, and I tell you, like 2 weeks later we came into Harmonious Union. It was just so miraculous. And I remember just, you know, a few weeks before we achieved Harmonious Union, I was feeling so low and working through something really heavy, and I remember feeling like I'm light years away from Harmonious Union. I think it will probably be 10 years, and I really felt that. But in my heart, there was something that just felt really like okay with that. Like, I was very surrendered because I knew there's no other path for me. Like, I don't really care to live a life in separation from my twin flame. The time's gonna pass anyway, you know, like I might as well just focus on this. And then literally a few weeks later, we came into Harmonious Union. So that's why it doesn't matter if it feels like you're far away. It just matters that you're working the process and really surrendering. And before Harmonious Union, I was not focused on my twin flame. Like, I really wasn't. And I wasn't, like, I was very surrendered to it, and I knew my desire for it, and I knew that I don't choose to live a life in separation. But I was really just focused on how I felt, you know. And if you're feeling peace within you because you're healing your blocks, you start to really love that peace and want to deepen that peace. So if something comes up to disrupt the peace, you heal it. You know, and that's what Jeff and Shalia's body of work teaches you to do, is heal your reality based on what you see mirrored back to you, because your reality is your divine mirror, just like your twin flame. But yeah, I wasn't really focused on my twin flame before, and it was the most natural thing, and I just really realized that in that moment that we achieved Harmonious Union, that I couldn't have made this happen. Like, I remember stressing out so many times about how it's gonna work, how it's gonna look, just seems impossible. But all of that was so silly because God already had the way, and I just had to like stop trying to control it and stop resisting it. To accept it and surrender and heal my really big block that I had been avoiding. And I just look back, and I did have a lot of resistance to that, and that's why I think it took me 3 years to finally heal my core block. But you don't have to have that resistance. Like, you can really surrender to this journey and know that you're not in charge of how your twin flame comes. Like, you are worthy of that love. And that was one of my final realizations too, is I was worthy of receiving my twin flame.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did, you know, and so yeah, like I really surrendered to the process, and I worked the process very faithfully.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked. And you,
yeah, and I saw that.
Yeah, showed up, and he was my twin flame.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have anything to add?
No, I think you covered everything perfectly. Just love yourself and feel yourself inside. Because I remember when you reached out to me for the first time, you were very complete and satisfied in yourself and confident.
I wasn't trying to get something. It was more like I was like, hey, it's like kind of like a business type conversation almost.
Yes.
Like, it was very straightforward, logical. I think that you're my twin flame. And I wasn't trying to get anything from you.
No,
like,
I didn't feel that at all. I was actually very interested on it. I was like, ooh, this feels good.
Yeah, because I was just like, I wasn't even afraid of, like, in the past I was really afraid of being rejected and trying to be needy with the men in my life, but not that time. I had healed that. Like, I was totally past that, and I wasn't afraid of rejection. I was just totally centered in the peace within me, and just like, felt really powerful and not afraid.
Yeah, and I was also loving myself a lot. So when I noticed her energy, I was like, ooh, this is like me. That feels good. We are both complete. We are both very, very full in love.
It's an interdependence, not
exactly.
codependence.
Yeah, it was feeling very good to connect over that love.
Yeah, that's the point of your twin flame union and like any relationship. It's not that they fill some type of void within you or make you feel better where you don't feel good. Like, that's codependency. That's God's job. That's you fill that void.
Yeah.
But it's to connect because it's fun. You know, 'cause it feels good to do that, not because you need something from them.
Yeah.
And once you have that position towards your twin flame, you can have a real relationship with them.
That feels very good.
Yeah, so that's how I attracted my divine masculine and how I keep him in my life. So thank you so much for watching. Do you have anything else?
No.
Yeah, it feels complete.
Perfect.
So be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and also check out the links below if you would like to know more about how to do this process. We have an entire complete teaching here that we share by Jeff and Shalia, their body of work called the Teachings of Union, which are for you if you desire to achieve a harmonious union with your twin flame. It's what we did, and we highly recommend it.
Yep.
So we'll see you next time, and enjoy the rest of your day.